Off the heels of an amazing and successful first ever Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, tonight, Monday Night Raw does it again. Another solid and newsworthy edition of Monday Night Raw. And if it's Monday night, oh yes it is, Ridiculously Raw. Hello friends, it is indeed your host, the Ridiculously Over Gentleman, Anthony Fleury, here with you for another edition of Ridiculously Raw. Of course, flagged by my panel as always. I have good old MF Michael Fletcher, the host of the Cerebral Smack Talk. Of course, we got the Phenom, Michael Bullock, my partner in crime in the Raw chat. And of course, the one and only First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, the Twisted Angel Dee Dee Woodson. And very surprising chat there that we're having, but we'll address that elephant in the room behind the scenes. But for right now, let's get into this edition of Monday Night Raw tonight. Like I said, it was another solid and newsworthy edition. Of course, Monday Night Raw was live tonight from the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Of course, in November, as you all know, the Survivor Series will be there, which I'm already looking forward to. As you know, my personal favorite event of the year for me, and you know why. We'll address that when we get to that. But for right now, we start the show off with Big Cass. And basically cuts a heel promo. Cuts a heel promo on not just Enzo, but also the fans. He rips on the fans, and then he gets interrupted by the Big Show. And then they had a little brouhaha, and well, what did I tell you, folks? I mean, I said last night, I think we can address the rumors of a possible Big Show, Big Cass matchup at SummerSlam. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get that. But as far as this segment is concerned, it was a solid promo from Cass that echoed the comments he made on the Raw talk show that followed the pay-per-view last night. Do heels really want to represent the company to their fullest? Anyway, Big Show roughing up Cass slows down the momentum that Cass has built. I was surprised it was so lopsided. Perhaps the logic is that they need to reestablish Big Show heading into their eventual match in order for it to mean something when and if Big Cass defeats him. So that's all I can say there. Based on, I would probably say maybe second or third best segment of the night. I got to address that in a little bit. So I'm leaning towards second or third. It's not the segment of the night. You already know what the segment of the night is, and I honestly cannot wait to get to that because there's a lot of awesomeness that came out of it. So, okay. So, yeah, we're definitely going to address the elephant in the room behind the scenes, no question about it, after the show. This weird little group text chat that we're having right now. So with all that being said, second or third best segment of the night, I'll figure it out. I think I know. I think I might know what's going on with that. It could be. I'm hoping it's maybe some. I mean, because I happen to know the gentleman, and I know I'm hoping it's not really him. I'm hoping it's some fake or something. That's all I can say on that. So we'll see about it. But like I said, as far as this Big Cass segment goes, it's the second or third best segment of the night for me. So with all that being said, MF, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this Big Cass promo to start the show. Like I said last night, we're definitely headed for a Big Cass Big Show about probably at SummerSlam most likely.
Yeah, it looks like it is now. Yes, good evening to say the very least to you guys, everybody. And no, I definitely have a lot of. I think it's the classic heel promo, just trying to say that he's the most over guy, that he wants to look forward to the future and the whole 9 yards. And, I like the Big Show coming out and saying, hey, he is still the biggest dog in the yard and the whole 9 yards. I like what I saw. It's a good body of work story to have these guys go at it now. So, you never know what can happen in professional wrestling and everything else. Anthony, you're right. This looks like this is looking like a Big Cass versus a Big Cass Big Show showdown, possibly down the line. So who knows how this is going to play out. But I do know one thing is for sure. It's going to be really good. It's going to be real fun. I like what I saw. Could it get any better? We'll wait and see what happens. But the storyline is it's pretty solid for the most part. Not bad. At the scope of it, it's just, can we just deliver on something even better? We'll wait and see what happens. But solid thing to start off. Decent enough to say. Nothing more to say. Mike Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I thought this was a good segment to start off this edition of Raw. I mean, like you said, Big Cass basically talking about what he did to Enzo Amore last night, and then basically ripping the fans, saying, "Oh, you never believed in me. The people at NXT didn't believe in me." And if you're thinking of joining the bandwagon now because of what I did, then I'm going to kick your head off the bandwagon because you were always hated on me, and you guys continue to hate on me. And he says, I'm the biggest guy in WWE, and one day I will be the Universal Champion. But the Big Show comes out and basically has something to say about it, and they have a nice little brawl, and obviously it looks like it's going to add to a feud between the Big Show and Big Cass, probably at SummerSlam, but we'll wait and see. So a good segment to start off this show. So Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson, come on in. Give us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, it looks like these two are going to face off fairly soon with each other. And, all this time when we were having the attacks on Enzo and then the so-called attacks on Cass, they kept trying to point the finger at Big Show. So I have a feeling that that's what this is going to really come down to is, which one's the bigger guy, and, Big Show kind of getting revenge for being accused of something that he didn't do. Because all he wanted to do was be a friend to Enzo and, help him out. And here Big Cass gets, the jealous streak after he was already the one who had been attacking Enzo to begin with. So, yeah, not much more I had to say, so let's move on.
Okay. Now we're going to move on to our next match, and color me surprised when it comes to the body of work of the match. Not the outcome, but the body of work of the match. It was the Drifter, Elias Sampson, going one-on-one with the Demon King, the master of the coup de la Ka, as our friend Luigi PS3 calls it. Gotta love her. But anywho, it's the coup de grace, by the way. So anyway, it's Finn Balor against Elias Sampson. Winner of the match in 10 minutes and 10 seconds. With the coup de grace, not the coup de la Ka, Luigi. Finn Balor. MF, I mean, of course the outcome was never in doubt. We knew Balor was going to win. And also, I'm kind of surprised they didn't add this to the pay-per-view last night. This easily could have been on there. But nonetheless, Finn Balor wins it with the coup de grace. Surprisingly good match.
Yeah, surprisingly good fight. 2.5 stars, I will give you that. It was basically what you expected. This is actually a good quality TV fight. This is what you want to see on a Monday Night Raw or even on a SmackDown Live. Good balance, good pacing, everything felt good. Yes, there was a commercial in the way, but it never really lost its momentum after it got back from commercial. It was solid enough. It was a very enjoyable match, and everybody worked their angles really well. Yes, we expected it, a big victory for Finn Balor. Balor now moves on, hopefully moves on, and they give him something else. And I really feel bad for Balor because, don't get me wrong, the Drifter, Elias Sampson, is a very good star. He was good in NXT. He's done okay on Monday Night Raw, but come on. Finn Balor is the first ever Universal Champion in Monday Night Raw history. Don't you think he deserves, I don't know, maybe something better than this? I'm just nitpicking. Don't quote me on that. Don't hold that against me. I'm just doing a little nitpick where I think that he should definitely do something better, something bigger, something more awesome. But, one thing at a time. I got nothing but respect for Finn Balor and a lot of love for the guy, so just go out there, he's doing his thing. But I would like to see him in a championship program really soon. I know the one thing that you got to kind of worry is, yes, he is a little bit of the injury prone. He has gotten hurt, the legs, then he tore the shoulder off at last year's SummerSlam. So, there's a lot going on for Balor that you want to see him do. And maybe they're just trying to find his way around, give him something to get going. And then once you get there, then, all bets are off. But good, solid, enjoyable. I liked it. Nothing more to say. Yeah, Mike Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, 2.5 stars is my rating on the match. I thought both superstars looked really good, and like Fletcher was saying, this is what you want in a TV quality match here on Raw or SmackDown Live. But yeah, Elias Samson, basically, he continues to wow me with his wrestling abilities, and I know people have been pushing, wanting to see Finn Balor get pushed again, but the thing is, he's coming back from injury, so obviously, like Fletcher just mentioned, he's injury prone, and you basically want to take it easy with Finn Balor, because we want to keep him around for quite a while, so... Nice win here. 2.5 stars. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I give it about a 2.25 to 2.5. It was an average match, but it was kind of good to see Samson have some dominating time. It's just a bit laid back. It wasn't that bad of a match, but it was a good way to start Raw. And the guys did keep that intensity up even after the break, which in my opinion kind of seemed like the rolling gag of the show was sticking breaks in the middle of matches. We all know how we all feel about that one. But in this case, the break didn't interfere with how the match was going. So, congratulations to Finn Balor. Not sure, what the next step for him is, but I do agree. Take it a little bit easier on him. Give him some time to mend a little bit more before we put him in any tougher matches, since he has been so accident prone. So. It's yours, Florio.
2.25, 2.5 stars. Good television match. Color me surprised. I honestly didn't really have much of a feeling about this, but this surprised me. Like I said, it was a good TV match, and Samson got some hope spots in there, and I don't know what else there is to say there. Yeah, let me see. I just want to make sure I have this correct. Yeah, 2.5 stars. That is the correct rating for this match. I definitely agree with that. Just give me a second here. Perfectly average match. Samson, got some time to dominate, and they got time, but it kind of felt laid back in terms of the intensity. And Corey Graves, who quote unquote hates Samson, always notes that while he doesn't like him, that he's not someone to mess around with in the ring. He just lacked intensity and believability in his work here. And in a match where he had a great opportunity, or I should say where he had a great opponent, rather, and could have really shined as a heel. So, but nonetheless, solid, average, good TV fight. So about 2.25, 2.5 stars. And then after the match, we had the Hardys. The Hardys came out, and they congratulated Finn Balor on the win. And, And then the Hardys, prior to their match, cut a promo. And then they were interrupted by Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And it led into a match with Gallows and Anderson squaring off against the Hardys. And I know a lot of people are thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna have some green beans here, no doubt about it. But nope, there's no joy in Mudville here, folks. There ain't gonna be no green beans here tonight, unfortunately, because Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson actually win the match with the Magic Killer. Okay. As far as the promo, I mean, it's between 4 minutes and 25 seconds to 6 minutes and 45 seconds. I don't know what the official time of the bout was, but nonetheless, Gallows and Anderson pick up the win. So, Michael Bullock, or I should say Brother Bullock, unfortunately, we won't be able to delight ourselves with some delectable green beans here tonight, I'm afraid. So, Michael Bullock, we started off with you here. Your thoughts on this, on Gallows and Anderson getting one over on the Hardys? Whoa. Bullock, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought we lost you for a minute. All right. Gallows and Anderson over the Hardys. Unfortunately, no green beans tonight.
Yeah. What was the time of the fall again?
I don't know which one's more official. One review says 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Another one said 6 minutes and 45 seconds. I don't know which one's official.
All right. I'll give it about 1.5 stars for the effort there. But I mean, yeah, Gallows and Anderson basically went over in this match. I thought they were going to give the Hardys the victory back after losing to Cesaro and Sheamus, but no, they actually put Gallows and Anderson over. But wait, there was more. After the match, we had the return of the Revival. They came out and they just beat the crap out of the Hardy Boys. So, yeah, I obviously think that it's going to eventually lead to a feud with the Hardys and the Revival. So, match was short, but it was good for what it was worth. 1 to 1.5 stars. So, nothing else to say except Twisted Angel D.D. Woodson. What do you and your cat Callie have to say about this match?
Well, unfortunately, Callie slept through Raw, so she doesn't have much to say. Unlike last night when she actually sat there and watched at least the Enzo and Cass match before she went to sleep. But, oh, there she goes. Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, she just jumped down.
Yeah, spoke too soon.
Yeah. Well, she's kind of wide awake now after sleeping all afternoon. So I like the promo real well because we did get to see a little bit of the Broken Hardys coming out during the promo before Gallows and Anderson came out, and they made their little obsolete and and those kind of things, just like they've been doing on Twitter. They started bringing that into the promo, and I really kind of like that because here we are, we're teasing some of that that fun with the Broken Hardys bit, and of course the crowd just eats it up, and they'll chant delete instead of counting when Matt bangs the heads on the turnbuckles and stuff like that. The match, unfortunately, I thought was a little short, but I'll give it a 1.5. I didn't think it was that cool though that the Revival came out after the match and did more of a beatdown after they were already beaten down. But still, it was good to see them back after all their issues they've had, with the injuries and everything. And but yeah, not much more I have to say about it. It's just just, I guess you could say it's just kind of a laid back match. So I'll toss it over to Florio.
I'm gonna give it about two stars. But before I get into that, the promo, I like that the Hardys just didn't jump back into the tag title scene, but I had to admit that they failed while teasing some broken fun. Yes, no doubt about it. The Good Brothers decided that now was the time to pick the bones and try to get themselves back into the tag title mix. That being Gallows and Anderson, and Gallows and Anderson win the match. And I'm giving that 2 stars. It was short, and the in-ring action was perfectly fine. What I did like is that Anderson and Gallows picked up an important win and a meaningful win. And we're going to move on from the Hardys as title contenders. And they also took it a step further with the Revival coming to the ring and laying the Hardys out to make sure that everyone knew that they were back and in the mix as well. The Hardys lose nothing, partly because they were banged up and because, well, they're the Hardys, for goodness sakes. So hashtag top guys out. Because we saw the Hardys get laid out with one of the best finishing moves there is in wrestling today, the Shatter Machine. I love the name of that move. I really do. So, in the immortal words of Corey Graves, yes, 1,000 times yes. And I know he couldn't have been any more delighted. Well, Gallows and Anderson maybe could be the next in line. Maybe we'll get a renewal of that rivalry with Sheamus and Cesaro, perhaps. Like they had earlier in the year, and perhaps we're on our way to a Hardy's Revival feud, and who knows, maybe we could see that at SummerSlam, perhaps. I'd be down with that. What says UMF as we give it to you?
What says me is that if it actually does become a Hardys versus Revival at SummerSlam, I'm all for it. Shut up and take my money. That's what I say about it. It's going to be very cool, very interesting, and very, exciting to say the very least. We'll see what happens in the very near future, but I'll tell you one thing for sure. When the Revival showed up, when the Revival came in, they meant business. This was top guy business. This was not, this wasn't about unicorns or anything like that. It's not about deletion or obsolete or obsolescence or anything like that. What you got was a straight up butt kicking tonight. And I hate to say this, Hearted Boys, but you wanted green beans? You got the green beans stuffed down your throats, and you're probably choking on it tonight. Top guy business. That's how it's done by the Revival. Sorry about your damn luck on that, boys. Florio is yours.
Did I just get a Cowboy James Storm reference from MF? Whoa, I love it. Awesome. That was awesome, man. I absolutely love it. I mean, I know how much you love that theme song, and nobody does that better than you anyway, especially when you roll the R's. You know how much I love that. We used to have fun with that back in the day. So, yeah, sorry about your damn luck indeed. In the immortal words of good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Cowboy James Storm. So, all right. With that being said, how do we follow that? Well, what's a ridiculously raw without a cutout here? I'm sure you guys are going to want to cut this out. I already see the look on Dee Dee Woodson's face, so that pretty much says it all. I talked to Bullock about it during our chat earlier, and he even agreed on that. And I'm sure MF's going to make it unanimous. So I'll take it for a spin. I'll save you guys one here. I'll take one for the team, as they always say. We had The Miz, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, The Miz, along with Maryse and The Miz Taraj, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel, for the first ever Mizzies segment. Okay. The segment was okay. It was solid, but I wish they would do Miz TV a little less often. The segments have been really good in the past, but are coming off lately as filler a lot of the time. There are certainly some entertaining parts, but as of late, they have felt a lot less special. They have been teasing Shield reunions at house shows with tag matches. So I wonder if that's going to become a thing or just something they toy with. But it's obvious that we're a step closer now to the Shield versus The Miz and Miz Taraj. I would welcome the idea of a heel Shield reunion. Heck, I'd even be down with the three of them as babyfaces if they had the right heel opponents to work with. But I just can't get excited by the idea of the three of them facing Miz and two wrestlers who were trading wins and losses on Main Event until they hooked up with Miz. So don't worry, guys. I know you obviously don't want to get into that, so I'll save you one. This is one time I will certainly take one for the team here. So, but playtime's over. Let's get back into business here. We're definitely gonna address this women's tag team matchup here. We had, as I like to call them, the Boston Hug Connection, Sasha Banks and Bayley, squaring off against the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. The winners of the match in approximately, let's see here, between 9 minutes and 15 seconds to 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Sasha Banks and Bayley. Bayley actually picks up the win via a roll-up out of nowhere. Unfortunately, it had to be a roll-up here. I was hoping she would have won it with the Bayley to belly, and it would get our friend from YouTube, Luigi PS3, all excited and call it the Love-Ins, as she calls it. So, well, it was the Love-Ins indeed for the Boston Hug Connection as they pick up the win here. So, I think it's only fitting that we started off here with our women's wrestling expert here, Dee Dee Woodson. We started with you here. I guess there's nothing left to say here except with Bayley getting the fall on the champ, the SummerSlam women's title plans I think just went up and took a little bit of a turn here.
I don't know about that, but I mean, she did kind of. I guess you can say she got a little redemption for everything that Alexa Bliss has put her through lately, and the humiliation she had in that kendo stick match at Extreme Rules. She kind of got a little bit of a payback from all that with the pin to Bliss, and we know that Sasha Banks and Bayley, that they're a pretty well-oiled machine when it comes to tagging with each other. And Nia and Alexa they're still working on it a little bit, but they're starting to get there. But this was a solid, it was a solid match, but Bayley really did need to pick up this win, and it was really good for her to be able to do that, so that they can start, working to rebuild Bayley's character again, and get her back into that picture where she can eventually go for the title again. I definitely still see Sasha Banks, trying to get another title shot after the count-out victory at Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. So I'm going to give this, I'll probably give this about a 2.5 star match. A lot of action. It was, like I said, pretty good match in my eyes. I'm sure not everybody is going to agree with that, but I mean, it was better than what we have had from the ladies as of late. So, good going there. So, Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Give it about 2 to 2.5 on that one. This was a solid but somewhat forgettable tag match with Bayley picking up a much needed win. I think we're headed towards a multi-woman match at SummerSlam if they decide to continue to rehab Bayley. I mean, the women's tag match followed up on last week's tag match. It will be interesting to see if they go with the same 4 women in a 4-way at SummerSlam, or if they end up going in a different direction altogether. And Michael Bullock and we talked about this during our Raw chat tonight, and I told Bullock after the match, I think we're looking at a 4-way here. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up getting a 4-way with these 4 at SummerSlam for the Raw Women's Championship. So that's just how I feel about it. So solid match, yes, but it was somewhat of a little bit forgettable. So I'm going to give it between 2 to 2.5 for my rating as well. So MF, your thoughts on this women's tag match? And I think we're headed towards a 4-way at SummerSlam. I told Bullock that earlier. I want to know what you think about it.
It's possible we could get a 4-way. There's no doubt about it. This was definitely an okay match. About 2 stars is what I'm going to give it. I wish it could be something better, but at the end of the day, it's pretty good, not bad. But I'll say this: it was definitely a nice win, big victory. Congratulations to Bayley for winning it. And holy cow, are you ready for what could be a very interesting dilemma heading into, on the road to SummerSlam? Bayley gets the win. All right, nice win, nice victory for her. But remember, Sasha had a great opportunity. Almost won the title. Should have won the title last night if it wasn't for okay, I won't say what Corey Graves would say about Alexa Bliss, because I don't want Dee Dee Woodson to get angry at me. But the 5 Feet of Fury got herself deliberately counted out and basically, kept the title. Sasha didn't like that. Went all straight boss on her, and basically that we got that. Now we got, like you said, what Luigi PS3 would say. We saw what Bayley did here tonight, and yeah, unfortunately, it was only a roll-up victory. We didn't get the Lovins. However, it was an impressive performance, to say the very least. Well done, and yeah, it's upward and onward. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this possible 4-way, possibly for the women's title on Raw. I'm gonna say it, man. They're definitely building off of a nice little momentum that they got. Now, is it anything better than what they did last night? Absolutely not. I think last night was just a once in a lifetime performance. This time around, it was not bad. It was good. It was solid. But there's really nothing to literally write home about. It's just, it was enjoyable for the most part. We all had fun with it. It was entertaining, but we weren't like thoroughly enthused, or we weren't like overly like, wow, that was so amazing. Again, solid TV quality match that you expect to watch on Monday Night Raw or on SmackDown Live. Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give it about 2.5 stars as well. I mean, it was good but not great. I mean, yeah, I mean, it could have been a little bit better, but yeah, I mean, it could be heading towards a fatal 4-way for the Raw Women's title down the road. But we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. 2 to 2.5 stars is my rating. So Florio, let's just move on.
Okay. Let me just see what we have here. All right. Next up, we had the match, Goldust against R-Truth. Michael Bullock and I, we actually had a bit of some fun with this match during our Raw chat. Now, I don't know if MF and Didi want to chime in on it. I mean, you guys can, you don't have to if you don't want to. But Bullock and I, believe it or not, we're actually going to take this one for a spin because, we actually, like I said, we had our Raw chat tonight, and first one we had of those in a while. But we had it, and we actually were pleasantly surprised by this match. Goldust won the match in about 5 minutes and 40 seconds. But you know what? Michael Bullock and I'm going to tell you what Michael Bullock and I said during this. Sleeper fight of the night. We're actually going to give this about 2.5 stars. There was actually some good action, some good near falls, believable near falls. And there was a small element of some Shakespearean drama here. This was actually a pretty good match. The program leaves something to be desired, obviously, but no, these guys worked, a perfectly solid match. And I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure if MF and DD want to take it for a spin. I mean, they don't have to. I mean, they can consider this a cutout on their end. And that's fine. But Michael Bullock and I, though, we actually enjoyed this match. So MF or DD, if you want to chime in, feel free. But for right now, you don't have to if you don't want to anyway. But Michael Bullock, I'm going to bring you in. Normally, this would be considered a cutout, but like I said, man, I mean, we saw this match during our Raw chat, and color us surprised. We even said sleeper fight of the night. Didn't we say that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, going into this match, I mean, I thought it was going to be a no rating to a dud, but this match turned out to be much better than what I expected. And yeah, there was a little bit of that Shakespearean drama. I mean, yeah, the feud is pretty much left to be desired, but other than that, I mean, I thought it was good for what it was. So, 2.5 stars is my rating on the match. So, obviously, Fletcher and Dee Dee Woodson are not going to get into it, and that's totally fine. So I think we're just going to move on, Florio.
You know what? Hold on. I'll jump in on this. I'll give my 2 cents about it. I'm gonna say this. It was when you guys. Well, Mike Bullock just said that there was a little touch of Shakespearean drama. I'm sorry. I totally disagree with you on that. I mean, it was okay. It was solid for what it was worth. They definitely overachieved in the look of the fight, the feel of the fight. It was good. I'm not going to knock that. I could give it about 2 stars. I'll give you that. It was more, like I said, it was a quality match, a good match, something that, and you really felt like they were really going for it. They tried to tell a story, not the greatest of them all, but it was solid enough. It was a solid story. It was definitely a story that made us feel like, okay. And I like the fact how Goldust was really going back to the old days, to that Bizarro Goldust, to when he first started in WWF all those years ago. I'm starting to get that feel of that. With R-Truth, they're really trying to find a niche for him. And I think tonight they found a niche. It was solid. It was good. Like I said, I'm not going to call it the greatest thing since sliced bread, but for me, it needed to produce an okay performance, because in a way you could say it was a little bit of a filler fight, but it actually overachieved because it gave us that feel of, okay, when you're in mid-card purgatory, how do you want to be perceived? By just having a ho-hum fight, a decent fight, or really stand out so that the rest of the people can notice you? Well, tonight, this was, in Goldust and in R-Truth's mind, an opportunity to stand out, give ourselves a little bit of a moment, even though the fans didn't really give two you-know-whats about the fight. I mean, it was solid for what it was giving us, and at the time that it was allowed, this was, again, a TV quality fight. And are we going to be talking about this in the water coolers? Absolutely not. We're not going to be going like, oh my God, how a great match that was. That's not one of the highlights of the night. That's not going to be the thing that everybody's going to be talking about. We know what we're going to be talking about tonight. And there's a lot that we have that really is going to make us feel like, this was okay for what it was worth, solid for what it was worth, and given the time and the effort that they gave you, it's deserving of, the props, the respect, even the tipping of the cap. But nothing more, nothing less than that. Shakespearean drama, I'm sorry, I didn't see no Shakespearean drama whatsoever in this fight. But I saw two men giving it their all, giving it their best shot, and overachieving where all of us kind of set the bar pretty low going into the fight. So let's say that. Florio, it's yours.
Just give me a moment. Okay. My thing froze for a moment, so okay. Some fun here. Oh, are we gonna have some fun right now? General Manager Kurt Angle. He introduces the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman by his side as always. And then, well, of course, Angle puts over Brock Lesnar after what Brock Lesnar did last night against Samoa Joe. You know, and they talked about who would be the next in line to face him at SummerSlam. That brings out Roman Reigns. And Kurt Angle saying, you got a lot of nerve showing up here after what you did. We were thinking, okay, this is where he's going to, you know, address the punishment in the whole 9 yards, maybe. And then from there, Samoa Joe shows up. All hell breaks loose. Kurt Angle steps in between and says, next week on Monday Night Raw, it will be Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns in a #1 contenders match. And the winner of that match will face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. My. MF, we started off with you here. Nothing left to say. I think I speak on behalf of all of us. Segment of the night?
I wish I can break the PG rule because they broke it tonight, especially Brock Lesnar. Oh my God, he broke the rule. Oh my God, I wonder what Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon must be thinking right now after that segment was all said and done. They had to put their hand on that clicker, man. They knew it was about to go down, and it did. Oh my God, this was so epic. This was awesome, man. You want to talk about emotions and fire and passion and explosion and like combustible elements erupting. I mean, holy cow. First off, you know, never give Brock Lesnar a live mic ever again. Please don't ever give him a live mic ever again. Because if you don't, you better have that guy who normally presses the button for the censor. You better be on standby because he's going to drop one on you. And he did. Holy cow, did he drop one on us. It was so epic. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. I loved it. I enjoyed it. The fire, the passion, everything else. And I loved how Roman Reigns was saying, are you kidding me? You guys did so much junk back in the day on Monday Night Raw, on SmackDown, on pay-per-views when you were in the Attitude Era. You crossed lines that was even worse than this. And you're coming at me for doing what I did to Braun Strowman last night? Give me a break, Angle. So you can already hint this heel-like tendencies of Roman Reigns. Now, a lot of people were questioning, was there a double turn? Did Braun Strowman, now is he going to become the baby face? Is Roman Reigns going to become the heel now? So there's a lot on that angle. Then you got Samoa Joe saying, you know what? You didn't beat me. You escaped. You survived. You barely got through me. And Brock Lesnar is thinking in the back of my mind, like, escaped? Really? You honestly think I escaped you, man? I beat your ass and I did all this and I didn't even break a sweat in 6.5 minutes. What are you talking about? So you can already tell there is already combustible elements all over the place. I gotta admire Kurt Angle trying to not let this explode into something even more epic. Even though, as a commentator, even for myself, I wanted it to see this explode. I wanted it to see the eruption, and it was getting there. I was waiting for it, but I understand you want to protect your main event. You got to protect Monday Night Raw. All heck is breaking loose all over the place again. This is what Raw needs. You want the shot in the arm. You want to live up the level like SmackDown Live is right now, when SmackDown Live produces great quality stuff week after week after week. Anthony, this is what you need from Monday Night Raw. This is what a real A show is supposed to be like. And finally, for the first time, I'll even admit this had me intrigued. I was enthralled about this because of the fact of the possibilities now. You always talk about, Roman Reigns, and, it looks like maybe Roman gets something out of the break. We'll see what happens, blah, 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 blah. Now you got Joe. He wants an opportunity. And need I remind you, there's a 7-footer who just had to come out of an ambulance, who didn't make the appearance tonight because he's probably selling the injuries. But let me tell you, you don't think for 1 second he is not ticked off after what Roman did to him last night? Are you kidding me? There's only a matter of time before you hear that roar again. And once that roar happens, look out, Roman. You're going to have a monster among men about to kick your tail for what you did last night. So this was epic, man. Segment of the night, no doubt about it. Michael Bullock, go, it's yours.
Oh my goodness. This was definitely the segment of the night, and man, Florio, you and I, we had a whole lot of fun with this with this segment. I mean,
oh boy, did we ever, Bullet.
Oh man. I mean, first off, Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar being in the same ring for the first time in 14 years. I mean, that's something right there. I mean, first time since I think it was 2003, and who could ever forget when they had that that match they had at SummerSlam. And of course, the one match I'll never forget is, of course, the match they had at WrestleMania 19. And then basically, Roman Reigns comes out and is basically like, Kurt Angle's like, you really had the nerve to come out after what you did last night? And then Roman Reigns, it's almost like he was playing that heel mode and basically saying, you guys had that same attitude, and you're basically criticizing me for what I did. And then basically Samoa Joe comes out, and boy, the fireworks really started going. And yeah, they had some words that, well, I'm not even going to repeat with what they said. So, and basically it led to Kurt Angle saying, you know what? Next week, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, winner of that match, will face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. So, man, I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the segment a lot. So, segment of the night, Didi Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, definitely the segment of the night. Wow. It got to the point to where Kurt Angle said there at the end, you want me to cancel this match, then, you guys, if you don't calm down, I will. So if you want this match next week, you got to chill, get your corners, go to your locker rooms, chill out, calm down. Otherwise, they were not going to have the match next week. But wow, I mean, that was just very, very heated. For a minute there, I thought Brock was going to go off on Heyman at one point, because here Heyman was kind of getting ready to start agreeing with Kurt Angle, and Brock is like, hey, no way, we're not doing this. But yeah, I mean, it was very, very heated, and I do kind of agree with Fletcher on that. Don't give Brock Lesnar a microphone because you don't know what you're going to get. He is getting a little better at cutting promos, but they're definitely not PG promos. You mentioned yesterday, about the Mimi Jean doing this isn't PG. Well, this segment was definitely not PG. It was pretty heated. So not much more I have to say about it. So Florio, it's yours.
Absolutely spot on, Didi Whitson. You're absolutely right. I mean, Michael Bullock and I during our Raw chat tonight, we even mentioned it about the infamous "That's Not PG" meme from Mimi Jean Okerlund when that was running around. I mean, if it was around, we definitely would have had a lot of fun with it. We would have said Brock Lesnar saying the SH word on television. That's not PG. No, indeed not. And when Bullock and I were having our Raw chat and talking about this, I swear I could hear Michael Fletcher from a mile away, Girl MF, going, "This is awesome! I freaking love this." He cussed on live TV. I love it. He's like, "I'm laughing about this. I love it." And very much appreciate the praise there, MF. I mean, yeah. Segment of the night. What else is there to say? I mean, this segment had some great stuff from all involved. Joe continues to come across so well in these interactions with Brock Lesnar. There is one issue, however, that I do have. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't both Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns lose at Great Balls of Fire? And now these two are in line to be Brock Lesnar's next challenger for SummerSlam. There's always a possibility Braun Strowman could come back and take them both out and take what he deserves. But otherwise, from a body of work standpoint, from a win-loss perspective, like they used to do back in the day, if they had done this, if they had done something like this back in the day, Gorilla, Jesse, or whoever, Bobby or Vinnie Mac or whoever, they would have had a major issue with this. They would have said, "What did these guys do to deserve a shot at the title?" Well, both men lost. I mean, Joe lost to Brock and Roman lost to Braun Strowman in that ambulance match. And there's always still a chance they could still get to Braun and Brock. I mean, because that is the long rumored match. So we'll see. But other than that, though, this was phenomenal. Very good segment, like I said, with Brock Lesnar acting like more of a loose cannon than usual. And it was actually cool to hear him do the talking for himself for once and to see him go face-to-face with Joe a couple times. Yes, it is ridiculous that the Reigns character receives zero storyline punishment for trying to kill Braun Strowman, but I can't say I'm surprised either. It's just too bad that Vince McMahon will not budge on this guy, because last night, that was one hell of an opportunity for a double turn. And unfortunately, he didn't have the balls to go through with it. Shocking. So, but other than that, though, this was the segment of the night, hands down. Now we move on to Cruiserweight action, Cruiserweight tag team action. It was Cedric Alexander and Michael Bullock's newest favorite Cruiserweight, Akira Tozawa. We'll explain that in a minute. Titus O'Neil with Akira Tozawa, of course, going up against the Scottish Supernova, Noam Dar, along with Alicia Fox, and his partner, the Cruiserweight champion, the king of the Cruiserweights, Adrian Neville. The winners of the match in between 8 minutes and 45 seconds to, I believe, 9 minutes and 25 seconds, I believe. well, actually, no, 8:45 to 9:43. It doesn't matter. The winners of the match, Akira Tozawa and Cedric Alexander. Akira Tozawa with that senton. And Michael Bullock, I believe we started off with you. Your newest favorite cruiserweight gets it done again. Akira Tozawa, he gets the win back from last night. It's obvious he's getting another shot at Neville. We don't know when that's going to be, if it's going to be on a future Raw, a 205 Live, maybe even SummerSlam. But Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on it. Your newest favorite cruiserweight did it again, Akira Tozawa. Ha! Ha!
What was the time of the fall again?
One said 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Another said 9 minutes and 43 seconds.
I'll give it about 2 to 2.5 stars as my rating on the match. I mean, a good match. I mean, yeah, the cat's out of the bag. Akira Tozawa is another one of my favorites in the cruiserweight division just because of that. Well, not only because of his ability, but I just get a laugh out of that ha that he does so many times. So yeah, I mean, Akira Tozawa basically getting the win on Neville. I think it lines him up for maybe another shot at the cruiserweight title. But to me, I'll be quite honest, if there's one cruiserweight that is deserving of a shot at the cruiserweight title, it's Cedric Alexander, no doubt about it. But obviously, I think WWE wants to take it easy on him because he just came back from an injury, and I think maybe giving him that title shot is probably too soon for him. So yeah, we'll wait and see. But good match for what it was, 2.5 stars. So Didi Woodson, I give it to you. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot about that. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited about. I'm still.
You're still buzzing. You're still buzzing over the Lesnar, Joe, and Roman thing. I got you.
Yeah, especially with some of the things that was said that I can't say on this show. So
well, it's not PG. Obviously, you can't say.
I know. If we were doing it on your channel, Fletch, then perhaps maybe I get away with it. But on Florio's channel,
nope.
No.
So I correct myself and say, Florio, it is yours.
Yes, it is. And Bullock and I also had a little laugh during this match because of a little funny haha thing I pulled during that. I could save that for behind the scenes if you'd like, regarding Akira Tozawa, mainly because of that that Bullock does that.
Well, probably that too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I know how much you love the Bullock that he does. That's what did it for you. Nonetheless, 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating for this. Booking wise, they helped to build the match between Alexander and Dar on 205 Live. And yes, tomorrow night on 205 Live, Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar will go one-on-one in an I Quit match. I'm actually intrigued. Awesome. Even though the angle has done absolutely nothing for me. But anyways, it also gives Tozawa revenge on Neville, setting up a rematch for the title. And, this was a really good match. Another one of my top fights of the night. And, Cedric Alexander, Tope Suicida. You know how much I love those. Bullock knows that especially. And, what else is there to say? I know MF's got to be a little on the PO side of things because we all know how much he loves Adrian Neville and his body of work, and it's obvious that they want the. I said it that they were going to try to set up some sort of rematch between Tozawa and Neville, and with Tozawa getting one over on the King of the Cruiserweights, it's obvious to this Raw guy that it's going to happen again. The big question is, since we have 6 weeks until SummerSlam, do you do this on a Monday Night Raw? Do you do this on a future episode of 205 Live? Or do you wait 6 weeks and do this thing again at SummerSlam? I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, Tozawa is definitely on the verge of another rematch here, especially with this win tonight. MF and I used to have a lot of fun on commentary back in the day talking about the championship committee, and I would always tell MF, when MF was doing the lead commentary, you know, and me being the analyst, the heel commentator, I would always say, "Hey MF, with Tozawa getting the win here, I think that obviously puts him in line for a title shot, wouldn't you say?" And that's all I got to say. So 2.5 to 3 stars for me. So MF, let's go old school here. Championship committee time. With Tozawa getting the win here, I think he deserves another title shot. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think he deserves another title shot. Whenever you defeat the Cruiserweight champion of the world and do it, it doesn't matter if it's in the singles match or in a tag team fight, in that type of situation, yes, you deserve an opportunity. And I hope Titus O'Neil is going to Kurt Angle's office right now, knocking on that door, leaving voicemails, leaving emails, whatever type of mode of social media that they need to do to put Kira Tozawa and let him get another shot at the King of the Cruiserweights and the Cruiserweight Championship of the world. And like Tozawa said, you wanted me to be a part of your team. I'm now part of your Titus O'Neil worldwide. Now you got to do your job, and that is to get me that opportunity, get me a rematch, get me another chance. And you know what? Tozawa, what he did tonight with that big win, he deserves an opportunity at the title. Now, could that mean a title shot at 205 Live? Maybe. Could that mean a shot at SummerSlam? Very possible. Maybe a future Monday Night Raw. Whatever the case may be, he deserves the opportunity. Yes, no doubt about it. 2.5 stars is my rating. Let's move on to the next fight of the night.
And I do believe it's the main event of the evening. And yes, it is. It is the main event of the evening. Return match from last night at Great Balls of Fire. We had the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt, squaring off against the Architect and the Kingslayer, Seth Rollins. When all was said and done, the winner of the match, between 17 minutes to 17 minutes and 2 seconds, the winner of the match, wow, how about this? 2 in a row, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt wins again. Sister Abigail. Oh, my. So, I believe it's Didi Woodson who starts this off. So, Didi Woodson, your thoughts on the main event? Bray Wyatt make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, he made it 2 in a row, all right. I did notice a lot, though, that, you know, the fans didn't seem to completely be in it. You know, they even did the wave during the match. You know, it wasn't until near the end when you actually saw the fans actually, you know, really start to get into the match. You know, the good news is that Rollins didn't just get his win back. The match was a bit better than the pay-per-view match, but felt overly long because it really failed to fill the time well. The few, you know, it just didn't do anything for me. You know, and then after the match, you had Miz and his little buddies here that came out and encircled the ring. You know, the old Shield style to attack him, and then Ambrose comes out with a chair to basically do what Rollins had done earlier in the night during the Miz. The really bad Miz segment. So, you know, I'm going to probably give this about 2 3/4 of a star. You know, but it was, you know, it was a fair ending for a show, though. So, not much more I have to say on it. So, Florio, it's yours.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with you, Didi Woodson. I consider this the fight of the night, honestly. 3.5 stars is my rating for this. I mean, I know Bullock and I had a lot of fun with this match during our Raw chat, and I'll take it one further. I thought this match was better than the pay-per-view match, honestly. I mean, this Raw main event tonight was better than the pay-per-view version of the match. And I really like the way that Rollins targeted Bray Wyatt's hand of all things. I mean, the thing I actually like more about this match compared, to the matches that we've seen before is that Wyatt continued to sell the injury throughout the match. Whereas some opponents would seem to quickly forget that they had their fingers broken. But other than that, though, I mean, very good action, believable near falls, exciting near falls, and color me surprised, Bray Wyatt actually wins again, and hopefully this is the start of bigger and better things for the Eater of Worlds, because you know how I have ripped and criticized management for burying this guy. I mean, they put the title on him in the Elimination Chamber, and then they go on to feed him to Randy Orton at WrestleMania for what reason I don't know. Just a personal thing, but and then he lost all that momentum. I mean, yeah, he won that House of Horrors match, but that thing was a mess. Let's not kid ourselves. And now he's got 2 wins over Rollins in a row. Hopefully now the creative team of Money to wake up and start pushing this guy like SmackDown Live pushed him. I mean, SmackDown Live had the balls to put the title on him. Hopefully down the line they put a title on him. I don't care what title it is, whether it's the Universal title, the Intercontinental title. I don't know. I don't care. I just want to see this guy, get the opportunity he deserves, because Bray Wyatt is a damn good talent. And I feel he has been tragically and utterly underutilized over the last 3 years, ever since they fed him to Cena at WrestleMania 30. So, yeah, they put the title on him. Great. But they fed him to Orton at Mania when they honestly should not have. Sorry, just my personal opinion. So, but hopefully now that they put him over Rollins twice in a row in a 24-hour period, maybe this is the start. Hopefully it's the start of bigger and better things for the Eater of Worlds. And as far as what happened after the match is concerned, Shield reunion's coming. We're going to get it eventually. We just need Roman. So, and I honestly think that the Shield, if you're going to have the Shield reunite, it should be against 3 formidable heels instead of The Miz and the Miztourage. Not quality opponents for especially if you want to get the Shield back together, which I'm for. I'm for a Shield reunion, most definitely, but not against the Miztourage. No, don't do it. But with our luck, and mine especially, they're going to do it. Nonetheless, though, fight of the night, there's no doubt about this. It's 3.5 stars, better, much better than the pay-per-view match, even though the pay-per-view match was just as good. So, MF, what do you say about all this?
I'm with Anthony. Fight of the night, 3 stars is my rating for the fight as well. And, you're absolutely right. I think, unfortunately, they are going to pull that trigger on that fight, even though I think we all were like, no. But then again, look what happened at WrestleMania. Did anybody really wanted to see a Nikki Bella, John Cena versus Miz and Maryse at WrestleMania? Not really. And they shoved that down our throats. So, I mean, but the thing is that at the end of the day, that is what they think, that WWE thinks that they know what we want. And don't get me wrong, a Shield reunion, one time only, would be great, but not against Miz and the Miztourage. Come on. I mean, scraping the bottom of the barrel, ladies and gentlemen. Really? What? You can't do, I don't know, maybe a reincarnation, bring back a reincarnation of the club, do Anderson, Gallows, and maybe a one night only with Finn Balor against the Shield? I mean, how crazy would that be? But I don't know. I feel like they're going the wrong direction here, even though I like where it's going. And you know what, Anthony, you're right. Bray Wyatt, another defining victory, another big win. He deserves an opportunity, man. He deserves the shot. He's beaten Seth Rollins, a former world champion, twice now in a span of 48 hours. I don't know. This is thank God this is a Raw problem and not a SmackDown problem, because it looks like they're starting trying to do something with them, but I don't know. We'll see. Bullock, is yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna say fight of the night as well. 3 to 3.5 stars is my rating on it. So yeah, I mean the match I thought was good for what it was. So yeah, you guys pretty much touched on it. So let's just get into our overall thoughts on this edition of Monday Night Raw.
And I'll start it off. Even though it may not have been as exciting as the Great Balls of Fire event was, I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give it a solid 7 out of 10 here. This was another solid, another very good and newsworthy edition of Monday Night Raw. I mean, obviously, but Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt, definitely the fight of the night, no question about it. Second best fight, I probably would give it to the Cruiserweight match. I mean, we had some very good quality matches here. I mean, like I said, Rollins and Wyatt, the Cruiserweight tag team match, the women's tag team match, I thought was a solid match as well. And then you had that unbelievable and that awesome segment with Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, Heyman, Roman Reigns. I mean, that was a fun segment, no doubt about it. And then the cast segment was very good as well. And yeah, and obviously, you know, we're obviously already starting to build the SummerSlam. I mean, you got 6 weeks to build the Raw side of it, and definitely a solid and good start. I mean, Roman Reigns, and next week it'll be Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, where the winner will face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. And like I said, as far as the Raw side goes, I still think it's going to be Strowman. I mean, I still think Strowman's going to find his way into this thing, because, you know, the long rumored plan is for Braun Strowman to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. And I still think they get to that somehow. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll see about Joe and Reigns, though. That should be a great match next week. And then also Kurt Angle is going to address the mystery text. He's going to address the elephant in the room next week. And he was talking to somebody. I mean, I don't know if it's his wife. I don't know. Maybe it's his brother, Eric Angle. I don't know. Because, you know, Kurt and Eric Angle have the similar appearances. You know, they look a lot alike. It's just a shot in the dark. And that could set up another rumored match for SummerSlam, which is, of course, Kurt Angle coming out of retirement to go one-on-one with the Game Triple H. So we'll see how that goes, because that's been a rumored SummerSlam match. And if that goes down, oh my goodness, this 30th anniversary of SummerSlam is going to be hella fun. Let's not kid ourselves. So overall, this show had some good moments, and it was especially fun to see Brock Lesnar do more than he typically does in verbal segments. So solid 7 out of 10. I'm not going any higher than that. So, because there were some meh things on this show. But the reason why it's a 7 out of 10, about 3 or 4 quality matches, some great and some good quality segments, especially the Angle, Roman, and all that, and all those guys segments. So nothing more to say here. Solid 7 out of 10. Another solid and newsworthy edition of Monday Night Raw. That's been the theme of this year. So, MF, your overall thoughts on this post Great Balls of Fire Monday Night Raw tonight?
No, you're absolutely right. 7 out of 10 is the official rating. That's why we give another solid show, another good performance by Monday Night Raw. There was a couple of clunky moments, but not enough that would make us say, "Oh my God, what the heck?" But you know, it was good, solid, and everything worked out the way it's supposed to work out. So no, Raw did good. Good job, Monday Night Raw. And now you have indeed put the fire on SmackDown Live. We gotta represent, we gotta produce, and we gotta nail it. So we'll see what happens. So Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I thought it was a good edition of Monday Night Raw. I mean, it was good but not great. I'll give it the same thing, a 7 out of 10 as well. Yeah, there were a couple of clunkers, but other than that, I mean, I thought everything else was solid. But yeah, and guys, you're not gonna believe what I'm about to say here. I just I just chatted up with Derek Ferreira on the live chat with this thing that he does for the Friday the 13th, and I asked him what he thought of Monday Night Raw, and my jaw literally dropped when he made this comment. He said he thought Monday Night Raw sucked, and I'm like saying to myself, really? But then again, I can't go against Derek Ferreira because I don't want to get in trouble with him. I mean, so basically, I'm just going to say I respectfully disagree with what he said. So 7 out of 10 is my rating. Dee Woodson, what do you think?
Oh, I may go just a tad bit lower, maybe say 6.5 stars. There was quite a bit that was kind of low, but there was also some really good matches and mixed in there as well. So not much more I have to say about it. So I'm going to go ahead and head out, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And as far as the elephant in the room, we can talk about it tomorrow. Night, guys.
All right, night, Dee. We'll see you tomorrow night for Cerebral Smack Talk. Bullock, beat your mic because now we're going to get into a very special edition of the Tony's Take. Of course, I'm going to do my usual shtick. I'm going to talk about 205 Live and Impact Wrestling. I'm going to talk about this past week's show. I'm not going to get into the shows from before because we didn't have a show last week, so no point in doing that. So what we're going to do first off is we're going to talk about Slammiversary, the TNA Slammiversary event, which went down back on July the 2nd. And, of course, a lot of things went down on that. And I will give you, for anybody who didn't see the event, here are the results of the event. They had a pre-show match. They had a 6-person mixed tag team match. Ali, Braxton Sutter, and Mahabali Shera defeating KM, Kongo Kong, and Laurel Van Ness in 7 minutes and 5 seconds. And then on the main card, it started off with a fatal 4-way Lucha Rules match to unify the Impact Wrestling and Global Force Tag Team Championships. LAX against Drago and El Hijo del Fantasma from AAA. I'm sorry if I messed the name up. Laredo Kid and Garza Jr. and Nahumichi Marufuji and Taiji Ishimori from Noah. And LAX won the match in 14 minutes and 40 seconds, and they are the undisputed World Tag Team Champions. D'Angelo Williams, D'Angelo Williams from the NFL. He teamed up with Impact Grand Champion Moose to go up against Chris Adonis and Eli Drake. And D'Angelo Williams and Moose won the match. Of course, celebrity tie-in, that was automatic. Ethan Carter III over James Storm in a strap match. Jeremy Borash and Joseph Park over Josh Matthews and Scott Steiner in a no disqualification match. Alicia Edwards and Eddie Edwards over Angelina Love Richards and Davey Richards in the Full Metal Mayhem match. 8.5 minutes. Sanjay Dutt over Low Key. He won the 2 out of 3 falls match to successfully defend the X Division title. 18 minutes and 20 seconds for that. And then you had Sienna and Rosemary to unify the women's titles. Sienna won that match via submission in 10 minutes and 55 seconds. And in the main event of the evening, for the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, Alberto El Patron, Bobby Lashley. Alberto El Patron wins the match, 18 minutes and 5 seconds. He's now the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion. some of these results, this pretty much went the way I thought it would. The only thing that really surprised me was the women's match. I honestly thought Rosemary, with how high management was on her, I thought they would have given her the win. And the match with Borash and Park against Matthews and Steiner, from the reviews I've been reading, this ended up being the sleeper fight of the night. I mean, I couldn't believe what I read. I'm like, what? This thing was actually good? Unbelievable. And they took a page out of, what the Broken Hardys used to do with those deletion matches. I mean, it was something out of the lines of that almost. And that surprised the hell out of me. D'Angelo Williams, of course, that's not a big surprise at all. I mean, celebrity tie-in, obviously the celebrity wins. From what I read, I heard that the fight of the night was that opening tag team title match. I mean, I heard that was hella fun and all kinds of fun. And the results otherwise pretty much went exactly like I thought it would. I mean, too soon to take the title off of Sanjay Dutt. I mean, especially after he worked so long and hard for it. And then, of course, the main event, that went exactly as I thought. I had El Patron winning, and I'm not at all surprised that Alberto El Patron unified the World Heavyweight Championships. And, of course, Alberto El Patron in some big-time trouble again, if you didn't read the dirt sheets and if you didn't watch Derek Ferrera's video earlier. He's in big-time trouble, and who knows, his reign as a unified World Heavyweight Champion might not be lasting all that long, if you know what I mean. So, check out Derek's video, check out the dirt sheets. I don't want to waste my time on that. So, I heard Slammiversary was a good show, and I definitely have to find a way to see it, because I can't watch it via various means, because I've tried to do that, and I get bombarded with advertisements and pop-ups during that, and upgrade and all that BS. So. And I'm sure as heck not paying $40 for it either. So whether it's on traditional pay-per-view or on the Fight app. So I was going to do that, but when I saw it was $40, I'm like, yeah, right. So no way I'm doing that. So, but anyways, let's get into my traditional Tony's Take now. 205 Live, last Tuesday night, the 4th of July. And we started it off. Titus O'Neil cut a promo, and I'll admit it, it was not a bad segment. I mean, it was a pretty good opening segment, even though I'm still annoyed by Titus O'Neil. But I fear it's going to get overexposed soon enough. And, WWE always has the knack of taking something fun and ramming it down your throat instead of letting it breathe and letting it simmer. Then we had the Cruiserweight Champion, Adrian Neville. He was in action against Lince Dorado. Neville won the match in 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Even though it was a short match, I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. It was rock solid in-ring action and an overall good segment, thanks to the presentation and work of Adrian Neville, who is just awesome. MF, you're not the only one who likes his body of work. I do too. And then Michael Bullock's other favorite cruiserweight, the gentleman, Jack Gallagher. He went up against the premier athlete, Tony Nese. And Jack Gallagher gets the victory, 6 minutes and 8 seconds. 2 3/4 stars. Pretty good match overall. Nice play off of their first match. And Gallagher gets some momentum as he moves on to his upcoming feud and program with D. Brian Kendrick, which I think could be pretty good. And then the main event of the evening, it was Rich Swann against TJP. And Rich Swann wins the match in 11 minutes and 38 seconds. Fight of the night. This was really good. 3 3/4 stars. Very good and fun main event. Commentary, Corey Graves and Vic Joseph, they were really good, playing up their history really well. And I also love TJP almost fighting his dark side throughout, because he wants to be the guy his fiend sees him as, his friend sees him as. But in the end, TJP not taking those shortcuts cost him because Swann stuck around. Is the good TJP here to stay, or will he say screw sportsmanship and go back to doing anything he can to win? So overall thoughts on this? 7 1/4 out of 10. This edition of 205 Live was a very good show. They did some final build for Neville and Tozawa. Neville continues to be a spectacular monster heel who doesn't care about anyone. They're giving Gallagher and Kendrick something to do, and the main event was very good and continued Swann's attempt to get his friend back to the good side. So 7 1/4 out of 10. And tomorrow night, if you didn't hear, we're going to have Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar squaring off in an I Quit match. I'm intrigued. So I definitely can't wait to see how that particular bout goes down tomorrow night. So that's that. And now we'll move on to last Thursday's Impact Wrestling. It's not going to be as positive as a 205 Live. I'll tell you right now, 205 Live was the better show. We started it off with the championship celebration for Alberto El Patron. Of course, he was with his father, of course, Dos Caras, and his brother, El Hijo de Dos Caras. And then Bobby Lashley came out and interrupted, and a major brouhaha went down. And I'll say it like this. It was a solid opening segment, but I'm not high on them jumping right to the rematch. That's honestly something they could have taken a few weeks to build to. And then we had Sanjay Dutt squaring off against Caleb Connolly. Sanjay Dutt wins the match in 4 minutes and 42 seconds. 2 3/4 stars. Short but pretty good opening match. They kept a good pace with Connolly looking good and getting a lot in. Dutt retains and looks to have his next program locked in. And, of course, after the match, Trevor Lee attacked Sanjay Dutt. So it's obvious that Trevor Lee is going to be Sanjay Dutt's next challenger. I can get with that. No doubt about it. 8-man tag team action. Eddie Edwards, the Veterans of War, and Grado. Grado's back. They went up against Eli Drake, Chris Adonis, Falaba, and Mario Baccara. Team Eddie Edwards wins the match in 4 minutes and 50 seconds. I can only give it 2 stars. It was a solid match, but it was way too rushed. Never had a chance to settle in. It felt chaotic in a bad way. Somewhat of a cluster bleep, if I'm being honest. Matt Sydal squaring off against Braxton Sutter. Matt Sydal wins the match. 3 minutes and 15 seconds with the shooting star press. I know that makes MF happy. I know how very high he is on Matt Sydal, a.k.a. Evan Bourne, for all you WWE guys out there. Another 2-star match, but this was a perfectly solid outing with Sydal keeping his momentum with the wins. So no question about it. And then Jeremy Borash announced the Super X Cup is coming back. Oh, yes. Davey Richards, Andrew Everett, Idris Abraham, Desmond Xavier, Tahiji Ishimori, ACH, Drago, and Sammy Guevara. And the bracket goes like this. Sammy Guevara will square off against Drago, ACH against Andrew Everett, Tahiji Ishimori against Davey Richards, and Idris Abraham against Desmond Xavier. Super excited and super happy to see the Super X Cup return. And this lineup, oh yes, this has potential. Believe me, this has potential. And we had the first match. Idris Abraham against Desmond Xavier. Desmond Xavier wins the match in 11 minutes and 57 seconds. This, to me, was my second best fight of the night. 2 3/4 stars. Pretty good match. It took a bit to get going in the 4-minute commercial break. Yeah, killed the momentum. They worked really hard, and it was not a bad way to kick off the tournament. This was a really good match. Go out of your way to see this. And then we had the undisputed women's champion, Sienna, squaring off against one of my personal favorites, Rebel. Oh, she is something. Sienna wins the match, 3 minutes and 25 seconds. By default, this was the worst fight of the night, 1 3/4 stars. This was not horrible. Honestly, this was not as bad as people may have thought it was. Sienna is great. And Rebel, I got to say, Rebel, she's improved. Her hope spots were laid out at the right time and solidly executed. And that's all I can say on that. So, so Sienna wins that. And then the main event of the evening for the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, Alberto El Patron, Bobby Lashley. Winner of the match via disqualification in 15 minutes and 10 seconds, Bobby Lashley, because he got attacked by LAX. By default, this was the fight of the night, 3 stars. Good main event. They worked together better than that Slammiversary, and it had less BS until the end. And LAX teased that Alberto El Patron was their newest member. And the LAX tease was a solid hook for next week as well. So overall thoughts on this, I can only give this about 6 1/4 out of 10. Solid but forgettable follow-up to a good and strong Slammiversary pay-per-view. I love the return of the Super X Cup, and the LAX tease with El Patron to close the show was also good. EC3 looks focused for now on the Grand Championship with Moose, which could be interesting. But the formatting of this show felt overly dramatic, with the angles getting little time to settle in and the matches not getting a lot of time. We'll see how things play out over the next few weeks. but I felt they really needed a stronger post pay-per-view effort here. So 6.25 out of 10 is my rating for that. And of course, the docket for Impact Wrestling on Thursday night. LAX is going to open the show. They're going to have the promo with Alberto El Patron. We'll see how that goes. Moose defended the Impact Grand Championship against Niyamichi Marufuji. Trevor Lee squared off against William Weeks. Laurel Van Ness goes up against Ava Story. Gail Kim has an announcement. I'm not going to give away that announcement, but Gail Kim will have an announcement. Super X Cup, second match of the Super X Cup, ACH versus Andrew Everett. There's going to be a pointless and unnecessary segment. Chris Adonis with these guys from Pop TV, the Swole Mates. Avoid that at all costs. Octagoncito against Demas 316. And then in the main event, interesting tag team match. Alberto El Patron and Bobby Lashley against LAX. So that's your docket for Impact Wrestling for this Thursday night at 8 on Pop Television. So check it out. And I believe, that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. Of course, we'll have our shout-outs now. Bullock, MF, amongst yourselves who decide who wants it first, and then I'll set up the future content. MF is ready. So MF, your shout-outs.
All right, first off, I want to say thank you to all the great fans out there for making this show as incredible as it is. You guys are the best fans in the world. You guys already know that. Shout out to all my super fans out there. You guys know who you guys are. Friends in junior high and high school days. You guys know who you guys are. 2184 crew, love you guys to death. And tomorrow night is another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. So much to get through. First off, we got SmackDown Live, as always. Then on top of that, we got a lot of Ring of Honor news. We have a lot, Ring of Honor was very heavily represented last week at the big New Japan Pro Wrestling event, the G1 special for USA. There's a lot to talk about on that. We got Lucha Underground, the G1 tournament. Basically, we crowned a new IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion. The tournament happened. We have a new champion. We'll get into that. We will also, and plus during SmackDown Live, if you haven't heard, we have a new United States champion in WWE. A new United States Heavyweight Champion in WWE. It happened, oddly enough, in Madison Square Garden in New York City. It happened over the weekend. We couldn't believe the news when we heard it. Our minds were blown when we heard it. We'll get into that. We have to get into that. We'll get into that. And then, of course, there's some RWA news. We actually got some RWA stuff as well, as they are rip-roaring and getting closer and closer to the biggest event of the year, Legacy 10 from Warwick, Rhode Island at the Thayer Arena. We will cover it all. 10:30 Eastern, Braves Fan 95. You know the routine. Hug the hand pounds. I'm out. Have a good night, everybody. So long for now. I'm out. Michael Bullock, it's all yours, my friend.
All right. Of course, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our tremendous fans and viewers out there who continue to support our shows, whether it's this or the Cerebral Snack Talk or Strictly Sports. Of course, we thank you all so very much for tuning in. Of course, shout outs to all of our super fans out there. You guys know who you are. To all of our friends from our high school day, you guys know who you are. So there's pretty much nothing more for me to say. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, this is the Phenom Mike Bullock saying thank you all so very much for tuning in. And of course, you know the routine. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up 4-4 style. Bye for now, and have a good night, everyone. Florio, take us home.
Yeah, we'll do, Bullock. Of course, special shout out to all of our tremendous fans and viewers out there who continue to make our shows as over as they are. We already know all the shows there. You guys know who you are. Best fans in the world, like we always say. Of course, special shout out, of course, to Didi Woodson and the Woodson family. As always, Matt Ward, Jason Hicksonbar, Daniel Luttrell from the UK. Our other first ladies, Kaiser Butler, Megan Silva, and Lexi Calloway. Our crew members, Tommy Souza, Eric Carrier, Jimmy Alden, Al Braverson, and Rob Parsons. And, of course, the man himself, Derek Ferreira, Falcon Striker 445. Check it out. Check out his videos. They're awesome. And I'll save the rest of my shout-outs for Friday night. And, of course, MF already laid out the docket for tomorrow night at 10:30 on his channel, Racefan 95, for the Cerebral Smack Talk. We will address that U.S. title situation, obviously, and Shinsuke Nakamura is going to go one-on-one with Baron Corbin, which I'm very surprised they're giving us on free television. I thought they would have saved that for Battleground, but okay, well, I can get with it. We'll see. So the review of SmackDown Live that loaded Mikey's mindset. I'm very anxious to hear what MF has to say about regarding all the things he mentioned. And Friday night on Strictly Sports, I'm going to be honest with you folks. It's going to be one of our shorter shows. We only have three items on the docket, all recaps. We're going to be recapping the Home Run Derby. Oh my goodness, the Home Run Derby. Let's just say this Yankee fan is more than delighted after what happened tonight at the Home Run Derby. It was like, let me just say it like this. A small spoiler alert, a record-setting and perhaps maybe the greatest Home Run Derby I've ever seen. So, not just because my guy won, but it was just amazing all around. And I cannot wait to get into, all of that. So we're going to recap the Home Run Derby. We're also going to recap the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, which will be going down tomorrow night. And last but not least, we're also going to recap the ESPY Awards. The ESPY Awards will be going down on Wednesday night. So that's it. I mean, I'm very surprised not to see UFC 213 on the docket, but then again, maybe with the breaking news that happened prior to the event, maybe that's why Derek didn't put it on the docket. But that's it. That's all we're going to get into. We're going to recap the Home Run Derby, recap the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, and recap the ESPY Awards, the 25th annual ESPY Awards, by the way. So that all goes down Friday night, 10:30, right back here on the Tone 25, and then of course next Monday night, Ridiculously Raw, another edition. Very exciting show with Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe. Winner will face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam, and of course the big angle with Kurt Angle. So we'll see how that goes. So, and that'll be at the home of the Western Conference champion Nashville Predators, the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. So looking forward to that as always. And with those two angles, I got a good feeling that it's going to be another solid and newsworthy show next week. So let's keep it up, Raw. Let's keep it going. I mean, I feel I'm feeling good about us right now. So we're turning the corner finally, and we're finally, I mean, I know we're nowhere near the level of SmackDown Live, and I understand that, and I get it, but I feel we're making a push. So, and that's exactly what we need to do. So, and I'm hoping we can keep on doing it. So, well done, ladies and gents. Well done. So, all right. So that'll do it for this. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, it's the ridiculously over gentleman Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, the Twisted Angel, Didi Woodson, and, of course, the Hardcore Pipe Bomb, Falcon Striker 445, Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Tuesday. And until tomorrow night, over on MF's channel, Bracefan 95 for the Cerebral Smack Talk, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. Good night, everybody.